Good morning, good afternoon, good day, good evening, and good night, everyone. I hope you're doing very well. This is beginning of week 6 for us. Hopefully you had an excellent holiday, as it may be, wherever you did, wherever you went, whatever you did. I hope you had a good time doing it. Now, I have your introduction videos where you focus on stress, and we've had, that was week 4. I've been going through those. We talked about rhythm in language, rhythm in English in particular, and this week we're talking about phrasing, how we group up different words, into groups, really. And this is something, it's a bit more on the fluency side, so it can be ethereal to talk about. Now, phrasing is quite important. At the second half, we're going to talk about linking and linking sounds together to make us go faster in speaking. Every language does this in some way. We're going to look at the rules and how English handles it, and so hopefully it should be a whole lot of fun, and helpful for you. All right, with that, let's see how it goes, and let's get into the lecture. Now, phrasing, to get into the matter, phrasing is, simply put, how we group words together into coherent thoughts, dividing up long sentences into smaller groups to help us communicate. We do this most obviously in writing with punctuation, but we do it also with our speaking. If we speak out everything at one time without any pauses, it's more difficult to understand. This links directly with last week's lecture about rhythm. So let's take a look at a couple examples, actually. They're quite nice. With Twitter and Instagram, with the hashtags, this phrasing and lack of spaces, lots of pauses, we can see here. Now we see hashtag, or tic-tac-toe, or sharp, or the pound sign as I knew it. Now, children slaughter, slaughter meaning killing. So, or do you see children's laughter? Children's laughter, children's slaughter. Could be both. Don't know. Can't know. Next one initially we see everyone's having babies. That's what they meant. Everyone's having babies. And that's true. This year, my wife is having a baby. Maybe in a couple days. Maybe by the time you hear this, I will be a full-blown father, and I'll start yelling at you to be better teachers, because I'll have more vested interest in the Korean education system. But this year, it's not just me. It's lots of people. Like, a lot of my friends are having children this year and having children about the same exact time. So it's all very exciting. Everyone's having babies. Or everyone's shaving babies. Everyone's shaving babies. Because, babies, they got hair, so you got to shave it off to keep them nice and smooth. Without proper spacing, it's very easy to get confused, to misunderstand words. That's just it is true. It's like it's similar to using the incorrect vocabulary word. It's very easy to misunderstand. Now here's the hard part. There are no rules on how we group words together in our utterances, which is very annoying. We have to acquire through use and learning. We can't study phrasing because individuals have their own way of talking. Different groups of people have their own way of talking, their own cadence, their own rhythm. But phrasing is something that everyone does. If we don't do phrasing, then that's a problem. And in some of your introduction videos, that is something I can point out to. Now, your most recent videos, those were focusing on stress. But as we move on, we're going to start thinking more about stress and rhythm and phrasing and linking and all these other things put in together to make into a comprehensible language and communication. But you can see here, phrasing and spacing is important. Let me give you an example using punctuation. Just very briefly, can you see any punctuation marks? There's no capitalization, except for one here. Da, da, da. There are no periods or commas or apostrophes or anything. So, let's read this together. Winston is one of the most laid-back people I know. He is tall, slim, with black hair, and he always wears a t-shirt and black jeans. His jeans have holes in them, and his baseball boots are scruffy, too. He usually sits at the back of the class, and he often seems to be asleep. However, when the exam results are given out, he always gets an A. I don't think he's as lazy as he appears to be. That's it. Without any phrasing, without any spots or grouping, it's all just one. It's one stream. It's one just whoosh of words. So, if I were to read this as me, I would read it like this. Winston is one of the most laid-back people I know. He is tall and slim with black hair, and he always wears a t-shirt and black jeans. His jeans have holes in them, and his baseball boots are scruffy too. He usually sits at the back of the class, and he often seems to be asleep. However, when the exam results are given out, he always gets an A. I don't think he's as lazy as he appears to be. So we take pauses, we breathe, we let our eyes and thoughts catch up. So grouping is important. Phrasing is important. It's an important part of speaking. And here's the obvious question is, which one is more easy to understand? Which one is easier to understand for you, the listener? The one without phrasing or the one with? I'm going to just jump to the conclusion and say the one with phrasing. Because I want you to think about this. When you watch and listen to people speaking, I want you to try to pay attention. In Korean, your phrasing is done naturally. You have, 18, 19, 20 years of experience. But think about young children, and how they talk. They don't have that experience. They're figuring things out. So, when we're talking about with kids and how they speak, they're acquiring phrasing. All right. Now let's take a look at this example video.
I was sheriff of this county when I was 25 years old. Hard to believe. Grandfather was a lawman, father too. Me and him were sheriffs at the same time, him up in Plano and me out here. I think he's pretty proud of that. I know I was. Some of the old-time sheriffs never even wore a gun. A lot of folks find that hard to believe. Jim Scarborough never carried one. That's the younger Jim. Gaston Boykins wouldn't wear one up in Comanche County. I always like to hear about the old-timers. Never missed a chance to do so. You can't help but compare yourself against the old-timers. Can't help but wonder how they'd have operated these times. There's this boy I sent to the electric chair at Huntsville here a while back. My arrest and my testimony. He killed a 14-year-old girl. Papers said it was a crime of passion, but he told me there wasn't any passion to it. Told me that he'd been planning to kill somebody for about as long as he could remember. Said if they turned him out, he'd do it again. Said he knew he was going to hell. Be there in about 15 minutes. I don't know what to make of that. I surely don't. The crime you see now, it's hard to even take its measure. It's not that I'm afraid of it. I always knew you had to be willing to die to even do this job. But I don't want to push my chips forward and go out and meet something I don't understand. A man would have to put his soul at hazard. You'd have to say, okay. I'll be part of this world.
Now, that video is from a film, and hopefully it makes it through YouTube algorithms, but that video is a monologue. And that monologue is from an older man. The actor's name is Tommy Lee Jones. It's from the film called No Country for Old Men. And in that film, and it's an opening monologue, and so he's an older man. He's nearing retirement age, and he's getting 65 to 70 years old. And he's talking in a certain way. His pauses have meaning. His words carry meaning, again, like we talked last week, and his pauses, his silences carry meaning as well. Now, if someone speaks with unnatural or odd phrasing, that is it sounds very alien. And I think we go again to fiction for this. This is a great example, and I think it's too old for you now, but this was a very famous video game back in the day when you were too busy being born or something. So let's take a look at this example.
Dr. Freeman, I realize this moment may not be the most convenient for a heart-to-heart, but I had to wait until your friends were otherwise occupied. There was a time they cared nothing for Miss Vance, when their only experience of humanity was a crowbar coming at them down a steel corridor. When I plucked her from Black Mesa, I acted in the face of objections that she was a mere child and of no practical use to anyone. I have learned to ignore such naysayers when quelling them was out of the question. Still, I am not one to squander my investments, and I remain confident she was worth far more than the initial appraisal. That's why I must now extract from you some small repayment owed for your own survival. See her safely to White Forest, Dr. Freeman. I wish I could do more than keep an eye on you, but I have agreed to abide by certain restrictions. Well, now, listen carefully, my dear. When you see your father, relay these words. Prepare for unforeseen consequences.
All right, there. I'm talking to you in a void for right now. Just it's faster and easier that way. Now, in that video game clip, we do see very nice examples, and we've been talking about this rhythm and stress, and we haven't talked to intonation yet, but that is coming up. How that character talks is unnatural. It's inhuman, which is fitting because that character is not human. It's just taking human form. But we see here where the phrasing, how we group words together, is an important part of conversation, of communication. Now, the next part, the next half of this lecture is about linking, about mashing sounds together so that we can speak faster, speak more naturally. And linking is quite important. And we're going to talk about different mechanisms of linking and different types of linking and give examples. And hopefully you'll be able to hear the examples. I mentioned this in the lecture, but it's important that for you not to worry about linking as if you're a slow speaker. When you speak quickly, then linking is a concern for you to produce. For right now, as listeners, just worry about hearing linking and understanding what is being said. It's just part of that deal. So hopefully everything's going okay. Let's see how it goes. Let's get into the part 2 of the lecture. Let's now talk about linking, what that means. Now, as non-native speakers, And people who, if you don't speak very quickly, don't worry about making links. Don't worry about doing linking, because if we link our words together and we speak slowly, that's wrong. It sounds wrong. It sounds terrible. Linking is, once we get up to, not S rank, but let's say A rank tier of English fluency, then you can worry about linking. But unless you're speaking very quickly and pronouncing things already very well, don't worry about saying you're linking or pronouncing you're linking. Worry about understanding you're linking and understanding what people are saying. Now, you've seen and heard linking a lot. We do it in every language I know. And we do it in English, we do it in Korean. We link words together and it affects it. And there's different kinds of linking. When we link words or join them together, we're doing it to speak faster and also to be understood. So if we understand linking, we'll understand other people, and other people understand us. So linking is a way of speaking faster. It's a way of going fast. So let's talk about some different kinds of linking here. Now, geminates. Geminates are when we have these two sounds, and we can see here, we see the example. So we're going to connect two different words together with one long sound. We see here social life, social life. We say social life. There's no linking. Social life, social life, social life. We say it faster. I have a very active social life. We say it faster, and this L, it's like a long L. It connects into life. Social life, social life. There's no space in between. If we say it slowly, social life. Both L's are pronounced very clearly. But if the words are said quickly, without a space, social life, the L continues. It's elongated in that way. And I think these next two are nice examples. We see not turtles, not turtles, not turtles, not turtles. Now let's say it faster. Not turtles, not turtles, not turtles, not turtles, not turtles. So not turtles. We connect them too. Now, we see, as a reminder for pronunciation, spelling doesn't matter. It's the sound that matters. So these are sound consonants. So the example of pink car, the K, the K, and the C of car, the K, they're both the K sound. K, K, K. So pink car, pink car, pink car, pink car. It's pink car, pink car, pink car, pink car. If we say it quickly, she was driving a pink car. If we say it slowly, she was driving a pink car. If we say it slowly, we do not link. So if we speak slowly, it sounds weird, and I'll show you. She was driving a pink car. It sounds weird. So when we speak fast, when we speak quickly. Now, with consonant nouns, it's similar. We link them. This evening, year old, an apple. Now these are when we speak them quickly. This evening, she was a year old. It's connecting. Year old. An apple. The nasal continuate allows this to happen. An apple. You'll notice, the S. This is a continuate sound. With the R, the R can easily become the R. And the nasal N sound is also continuing, the N. So an apple. These can all continue very easily into the following vowel sounds. This evening, year old, an apple. Now, when we link other things, we have what we call intrusions. These are, putting in other things. So linking vowel with vowel, when it's a tense vowel or diphthong, the next word begins with a vowel, the off glide connects the two. So sea owls, sea owls, sea owls, sea owls. The y is there. Sea owls. Excuse me. Buy oil, buy oil. I guess boy oil could work as well. Boy oil, but the y, the y glide is there. So buy oil, boy oil, buy oil, buy oil, buy oil, buy oil, buy oil. It sounds like buy yo-yo, but buy oil. So they, and then also like, for example, do it. Maybe you've seen the meme from Star Wars of the old man going, do it. And if you say it like it exactly, I'll show you an example here. So, do it. Do it. Do it. No, do it. Just do it. Just do it, as Nike says. Do it. And then he asked. He asked. He asked. He asked. If we speak quickly, we're connecting these words. We're linking them. He asked. I hope you're practicing along. All right. And next, another example of linking is assimilation. So instead of, this is a bit more drastic, so to speak. Instead of sharing part of a sound, the merged sounds are pronounced as a different sound. And I'll give you an example here. Two examples occur when the t sound or the d sound pronounce the y, the y. So when t and y assimilate, the two sounds merge into a ch sound. The ch. This causes the phrase "don't you" to be pronounced as "don't ya, don't ya, don't ya." So don't you, don't ya, don't you, don't you, don't you, don't you, don't you, don't you. Because we say it faster, we can't make the full movement. So don't ya. So don't you, don't you, don't ya. Don't you want to go out? That's how we say it. Now, co-articulation, which means talking, occurs when we have adjacent sounds overlap each other. So it causes these sounds. So good news, good news, good news. We have d and n. Good news becomes good news, 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 good news. We don't fully finish the d, and we go straight into the n. Another example of bad luck, bad luck, bad luck, bad luck. We don't fully pronounce the d of bad. So bad luck. We almost finish the pronouncing the d, and then but we don't finish it, and we start pronouncing the next sound, the l. And another example is elision or omitting sounds. We take out sounds. So when we remove a sound from a word, this could be the t or the t or d sound between two other consonants. For example, kept going. He kept going. Kept going. Kept going. Or kept going. We take out the t because we say kept going, kept going, kept going. My mouth is getting tired just saying kept going, kept going, kept going, kept going, kept going. So I take away the t, kept going, kept going, kept going, kept going. That feels much easier as we're saying it quickly. Diamond ring, diamond ring, diamond ring. If we say it quickly, faster, diamond ring, diamond ring, diamond ring, diamond ring, diamond ring, diamond ring. We take away the d because n and r are much closer to each other and they're continuants. Because we're continuing the sound, diamond and ring, and we're saying it quickly together, we take out the stop. We take out the d, which is a stop, because we have to stop making sounds. So diamond ring makes it easier to say words. There we have it. That is our brief lecture about phrasing and linking. Two very important, but sometimes difficult to reproduce as language learners. But I think it's quite helpful for us to know and practice with, and that's what we're going to be doing this week in our discussions about identifying and providing examples of linking and phrasing things together, phrasing words together, phrasing those thought groups together. So please make sure to check eClass for our group discussion work. And this is this is for week 6. So we have week 6 this week, and then week 7 next week, and then week 8 we'll see each other in person, and I'm super excited for that, to meet you all and to get some real nitty gritty practice in for that. Have an excellent week. Stay healthy, stay safe, wash your hands, and have an excellent week. Thank you and goodbye.